In this next article from Breitbart, ICE arrest 104,000 illegal aliens in 2020, including 675 MS-13 gang members. The Immigration and Customs Enforcement Agency arrested nearly 140,000. Repeated the title. Between October 1st, 2019 and September 30th, 2020, ICE agents arrested 103,603 illegal immigrants. Boy, they got to say that 3 times, huh? 90% of which had criminal convictions or pending criminal charges against them. That's a lot. Given their population, that's an incredibly high number. So what is 90% of them had criminal convictions, pending criminal charges. How many illegal immigrants are there in the U.S.? Less than 11 million. It's 10.5 million. So that would be like, oh, it's only 1%. Okay, never mind. For a second there, I thought it was 10%. It's not 10%. It's only 1%. So they only got rid of 1% of them. And then they grow. How many years? Man, there's like 250,000 of these people flooding across the border every year. Do the math. How over a human lifetime, 80 years, 250,000 people flooding across from Mexico. So that's 4 years is going to be 1 million over a course of 80 years or a human lifetime. That's going to be 20 million people flooding across the border. That's a lot of people. Do you have the ability to support 20 million people? Can you support 20 million people? Okay, maybe you shouldn't let 20 million extra people in. If you can't support that many people, you shouldn't let that many people in. ICE places detainers on 122,223 illegal aliens this year, which are requested by agents to law enforcement agencies to hold illegal aliens in their custody until the suspect can be turned over to ICE for arrest and deportation. Sanctuary cities, counties, and states refuse to comply with detainers and instead free illegal aliens back to communities because this is really irritating. So I live in Oregon, in Eugene, and we're right next to California. And so people think it's like, oh, you're being racist against Latinos if you don't want them to mass migrate here. What, do you not like Latinos? No. Latinos don't want other Latinos to mass migrate to their country. Oregonians don't like Californians mass migrating up to Oregon. Canadians don't like Americans mass migrating to Canada. People from the East Coast don't like the West Coast people mass migrating to the East Coast and vice versa. Nobody likes it. But you got all these woke leftists. They think they're so much better and superior to everybody else. Everything about their ideology is perfect. And then everything about the Republicans' ideology is racist, white supremacist, xenophobic, homophobic, Islamophobic, you name it. Just bring me a bad label. They just slap it on. They're like Mother Teresa. They're like Gandhi. They're like Barack Hussein Obama. More like Jeffrey Epstein. So they just are trying to shame us because the thing is, They like the sound of Spanish, and they like the people's accents, and they like the Latinos that mow their lawn. They don't want any of their friends to think that they're racist. They don't want to offend any of the Latinos that are working for them for cheap because they think they have so much better work ethic than us. They're like, oh, well, they work for so cheap and they do so much better of a job landscaping. We can't hire Americans to landscape our yards anymore because that's a white supremacist, white, privileged male. That's the people who are oppressing the minorities in the big Democrat-run cities from the poor rural states. So we have to prevent them from enforcing the immigration laws so that we can flood MS-13 and their narcotics trafficking network up here, because 2/3 of immigrants, their children, 2/3 of them vote for Democrats. So it's just a huge scam. They're looking at the average age of the white people. They're saying average age of the white people is 56 in America. You didn't know that, did you? It's 56. And the average age of a minority in America is 23. So they're saying these white supremacists over here are oppressing the minorities because they're underpaying them. So the reason why the minorities have less than half or more than half as much of the money as the white people isn't because their average age is 23. It isn't because of how much they invested into their children's education. No, it's white supremacy. Because when you move to America, you snap your fingers just like that, man. You got white privilege, bro. Just like that, man. Bam, bam, bam. One generation. You as rich as the Asians. Because America, fuck yeah. Only one problem with it. It's nonsensical. None of it makes any sense. It was all just a delusional fantasy. They're just trying to get the minorities to vote for them. That's it. That's all they want. They want Latinos to vote for them. In reality, they know they're going to benefit if the illegal immigrants aren't here. But they just think, oh, but we're getting such cheap labor from them. I like the job they do mowing our lawn. I don't ever want to hire a privileged white male to mow my lawn again because you have to attack white privilege and the patriarchy, right? You know, it turns into anti-white racism. If you're unfamiliar with what anti-white racism is where people blame white people for the sins of some of our ancestors. They think that white people took the land from the American Indians, that they enslaved the Africans, and that we were responsible for the Holocaust because we're white supremacists. But then you look into it, you're like, okay, well, 95% of the American Indians died from smallpox. The 5% that were left bought African slaves. They were slave owners. Oh, you thought they were so innocent, huh? You didn't even know they owned African slaves, did you? You didn't even know that. They did. They totally owned African slaves. And so they say, oh no, it's only the white man that's done anything wrong. No minorities in the history of the United States or in the history of the world, no minorities have ever done anything as bad as the white man. There's never been any poor person that was uneducated, that didn't know what electricity was, that thought the sun revolved around the earth, that it was all put there by spooky stuff, spirits and gods. None of those people ever did anything wrong to anyone. They had no justification for the white man to come in and take the land, because supposedly you can take land from nomads who don't have governments. Apparently, it's illegal to immigrate into a country where there's no government controlled by nomads, because apparently you're stealing the land from the people after they wander off following animals around. The cray just keeps coming. It flows like a fire hydrant. It's like, Democrats, racism, xenophobia, misogyny, rape, white privilege. Woo! Hit that like button. Share that video, baby. Of those arrested this year, 4,067 were known or suspected gang members. Yeah, that's a lot. It's a lot of gangbangers, man. That's enough to get your house robbed, dude. Of those gang members arrested, 675 were associated with the El Salvador-based MS-13 gang. People just think like, oh, well, there's like a difference in between the far-right neo-Nazi prison gangs and the Latino gangs, right? Like the only bad one in this situation are the neo-Nazis because they're the racist ones, right? Right? Latinos are saints, bruh. Bro, they've never done anything wrong in their lives, dude. Not a single one of them is a hate monger. No, it doesn't exist. No, Latinos are Mother Teresa. Never done nothing wrong to nobody, dude. Apparently, these people have never seen a narco movie. Total of 30 known or suspected illegal alien terrorists with a T were among those arrested by ICE this year. ICE conducted nearly 24,000 at-large arrests where the agents took illegal aliens who were wanted for crimes or immigration violations into custody. Vital to ICE's arresting operation is the 287G program, where local enforcement agencies sign agreements to help agencies locate, arrest wanted illegal aliens in a streamlined fashion. Of course, California is not going with that. No, California says, no, we have a right to not enforce immigration laws. It doesn't matter that these people go across state borders. It doesn't matter that they illegally immigrate into California and then they have free access to the rest of the country. No. They got states' rights, bro. They don't have to share any data with ICE at all because supposedly they're 100% sovereign. Like the federal government doesn't have any sort of control over these people at all. They can do whatever they want, dude. It's like a country within a country over there. And 40% of them weren't born in this country. You gotta look at that and you're like, wait a minute. Almost 40% of Mexico wasn't, or almost 40% of California wasn't born in America? Like, yeah, what's wrong with that? Like, what's wrong with that? What's wrong with that? What is my state next? I'm in Oregon. I'm right next door, dude. Like, these Californians are flooding up here, jacking up our rent. They're not like us, dude. They support all this whack big city Democrat trash politics. They bring their drugs, their crime, their gang members, their murder. Now we got transients banging dope, taking shits on the sidewalk all over Eugene. Got their pit bulls, they'll sick them on you. But hey, what else we got? Where are we at? We got one more story about immigration here. So don't forget, smash that like button. The show is not over. Stick around. Just ring that bell, bing, for the notifications after you subscribe so you get informed of when I go live. Also, too, you can check us out on Periscope, Twitter at RSS Commentary, although we are currently suspended because I was criticizing Islam. So apparently that's hateful conduct now. So you better not criticize the false prophet Muhammad for being a pedophile. Seriously, look it up. Girl's name is Aisha, spelled Aeisha. Aisha. She was 6 to 9 years old when she married the false prophet Muhammad. The one that preaches anti-Semitic beliefs. But no, you can't say anything about it. That's Islamophobia. You're not allowed to oppose their religion because of freedom of religion, right? Right? Like that makes any sense, right? Freedom of religion means that you have freedom from the government oppressing your religion or propping up another religion. It does not mean you have freedom from criticism for your religion. That's called free speech. So if you got any use out of this video, consider sharing this video with one or more of your friends on social media. It's the best way that you can help our channel grow so that we can reach the masses with our message, our real news, stamping out that fake news.